Hello and welcome to the tutorial for Next.Nav, an open source tool for Next developers to make routing easier. So I'm going to show you how to install it in this video and all the features. So let's get started. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go to Extensions and search for Next.Nav. You want to click the install button and it will be installed. Now you want to open up, so this does work for any kind of project, but this is intended to work for Next, and I'll kind of go into the reasons for why. So you want to go open up a Next project, and you want to do either Command-Shift-P or Control-Shift-P to open this up. Search for Next.Nav, click that, and this will give you a dummy directory. So this isn't real files. This is kind of just to show you what your tree structure will look like for a directory. So then what you want to do is you want to go to the source folder of your project. Ideally, the app is what it's intended for. And you want to right-click it. And as you can see, this app will have like pages and things like that for a normal Next project for the app router. So you right-click it. You can either copy path or relative path. We'll copy path in this case, but either one works. Paste it in here. Submit. And this is your entire directory starting from the app. So the app has all these folders, and this will work from any single directory, but it's intended from the app in the app router. And so this app has all of your files, but the only files we show, just to make it like for ease of simplicity and because this is intended to work with mostly Next pages, it will show JS, JSX, TS, and TSX. And it will also show CSS, SAS, and SCSS. So what you can do now is, once you have this directory, you can do a bunch of things. So one thing you can do is you can open up a file. Like let's say you want to open up globals.css in your app. There's a few ways you could do this. You can either click on this button, it'll tell you global CSS, you click, and it will open it up. That's one way. Another way is you can click anywhere in this app component, and it will bring up this window, and then you can click in whatever file you want to open. Let's say you want to open page.jsx. It will open that up as well in your app. So those are the two ways you can open. Now, let's say you wanted to add a file, and so created a test folder just so we can do things in here. So we can go to this test folder, we can click in it, and you can simply add a file. So let's say I want page, obviously I have some stuff, but let's say I want page2.jsx. You can click enter or this green button to add a file, and it will create it. You can make whatever you want. But like I said, you will only display only certain types. So if I do like a text file, it's not going to show it even though it did make it. So if I actually go to this folder, if I go to this about and I go to test1, there is a test.tsx, but for us, we're not going to be displaying that. So that is how to add a file. Now to remove a file, you can click in here again. You can click on whatever file you want. Let's say I want to get rid of styles.css. Click on the trash can, click confirm. And there is an issue if you want to delete from the middle. So you have to click confirm, and then this confirm doesn't go away. So you just have to click out somewhere. So that's like one of the small issues we have, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, essentially you'd have to click out of here. And that's how you delete files. You can simply click on a file, trash can, confirm it. There you go. Now let's say you want to add a folder. So the way to do that is, as you can see when you hover over these, there's like a plus and a minus. If you click on this plus, you can pick a folder. Let's say I want to have test2. I can hit enter, and it will restructure my directory for me. Let's say I want to add another folder, test3. So now I have this structure, test1, test2, test3, and I want to add some files in test3. Let's say I want to have page.jsx. I want to have styles.css. I want to have maybe a layout, whatever you want. And this will have it all. So you create this folder with whatever files you want. So that's how you create a folder. You just right click, it'll make it, you say, give it the name, and you can add files in there. Now, if you want to delete a folder, you can click this thing on the left, and essentially it will tell you this can't be undone. So you have to type the folder name again, hit confirm or enter, it will delete the folder. And if you delete a folder that has subfolders, so if we get rid of test1, notice how there's a test2 here. If we get rid of test1 is gone and test2 is gone. So we'll delete all subfolders, subfiles, things like that. So that's how you delete. Now there is also this server client thing, and that's basically showing you the routing in your project. So if I click on like this dashboard, this is a client-side rendered component. And so it tells you it's client side, but if I click on portfolio, then this is a server side. And in Next.js, the way you know it's client side, like if I find something else, it will tell you use client. So basically that tells you which components are client side rendered, which components are server side rendered. And you can run this wherever you want, but know that since it was intended to be in the Next app router, if you don't have a Next, like if you're not using Next, if you're using like vanilla React, everything will say server. So just know that, because essentially it is just searching for use client to know if it's a client or a server-side component, because that's how it's done in Next. So you can still use it in React. It'll have all the features, but just know it'll say server, but it's not really server. It's actually client-side. Yeah. And you can also, make, if you want to, let's say, have some new starting directory like dashboard, do the same thing. Now let's do a copy path instead of, or let's do a relative path instead of a path, since we did a path last time. You can paste it in, and now this will give you your directory starting with dashboard. So this does work with any app. Obviously, if you have like a Python project or something, this only shows JavaScript files and TypeScript. So for that, we'd have to configure it to do that. So it's not really working for that right now. And it's not really intended for that, because a normal directory is pretty good for anything other than Next. It's just the reason we did this is because in Next, when you have all these things with pages, it gets kind of annoying. So it's nice to have a directory to look at and to use to navigate through your file so you can visualize it easier. But yeah, I think that's all the features for this. So hopefully you enjoy it. Please download it and let us know in the comments or in any of the links for our site how you feel about it. And if there are any features you want, you can also, contact us on the site, or contact our LinkedIn or anywhere you want, or just make comments in this YouTube video. And we'd be happy to make adjustments if people want to make them, or people want to have them. And you can also contribute to the site. And for more information there, you can read our article or our site, or just ask in the comments. So thanks for watching this video, and hopefully you like the extension.